What's good, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. And in today's video, we talking NBA basketball. Your boy LaMelo Ball has returned 2 games in, coming back from a fractured wrist. We're gonna talk about that. NBA standings heading to the playoffs, the play-in tournament. We're gonna talk about that. Let's just get straight into this one.
With my dude, AB the Hero. Well, we getting it down in the Boulder State, baby.
AB, way to get out of the lane. What do you thought about that, Jay?
I like that. Yeah, I told you, he's on support.
Let's go. I'm out.
All right, so after missing what seemed like a million games, LaMelo returned. There was a lot of hype around that return. It was one of those situations where it was kind of like last minute. They were like, "Oh, he gonna play," and then it was like, "Yo, and actually he gonna start." And we did a little live stream. I was out in the woods. I could not come back, and then it was so late, man. I wasn't able to do the recap. They had a game tonight, so this is not really a recap of those games. However, it's gonna be kind of a think piece on the whole entire situation. Right now, LaMelo's return is very important for multiple reasons, right? And we're going to talk about that, the NBA, the whole thing. But first, man, I just want to say thank you all for subbing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, and hitting a thumbs up on this video. It is much appreciated. The channel's been growing, 1,000 subs. Let's go ahead and get to 12,000 this month, and let's stop. All right, now we look here at the Hornets here. Let me go to the schedule so we can really get into this. All right, you're looking at the schedule, and what we're seeing is, man, right now, man, every game counts. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Is that right? I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games left in the season. Let's see where the standings have the Hornets right now at the 8th seed, a few games back. 1, 2, 3 games behind the 7th seed, 4 games behind that Miami Heat seed. Now they played the Heat tonight, and like I said, every game matters. Every game is important, right? This game tonight that the Miami Heat won ended up pushing them to the 6th seed. The Celtics, who lost tonight, dropped to the 7th seed. And what that means, we've talked about this a few times. Why this is important is because 7, 8, 9, 10 go into the playoff tournament. So the 6th seed right now at Miami Heat, you in the playoffs. You locked in. 7th and 8th seed, y'all have to play each other. 9 and 10, you have to play each other. The winner from the 7th and 8th seed games, you move into the 7th seed, you locked in. The loser then has to play the winner from the 9th. So you could be in a situation where you gotta win 2 games just to make it into the 8th seed. Nobody wants to do that. Into the 7th seed, nobody wants to do the 8th seed. And so it is very important right now to close these games out with W's. Now, where the edge that the Hornets have currently is, if you look at these standings here, their next game is versus the Detroit Pistons, who is at the bottom right now as far as the bottom team in the East. They pretty much eliminated from all playoff considerations. Now, you look at the rest of the schedule here, you're playing Chicago, Orlando, New Orleans. Oh, it's a great job here. We got a New Orleans game that's gonna be on NBA TV. But it's the Knicks playing good basketball. The Washington is playing decent basketball right now. You probably got a easy game in these 3 here. Let's see where. Yeah, you got the Bulls, you got the Magic. So probably their next 3 games is where they can make up some ground on this Boston team and hopefully move to number 7. But it's the same thing here. It will matter at the end of the day, because right now I truthfully would love to see the Hornets be in this 8th seed and then have to play Philadelphia. I think the 7th seed playing the Brooklyn Nets right now is not where anybody wants to be at as far as that goes. Now, there are a couple elements that we're going to talk about in this video. The last 2 games that LaMelo played in, right? He played first versus the Pistons. Excellent game, tons of highlights. We seen the pace of the Hornets pick up, and they played with their hair was on fire at times. A great game, a great game back performance for LaMelo. We will look at and talk about this Heat game a bit. Not as great of a performance, but overall from the entire team, not as great of a performance. But still a pretty good performance for him coming back. We're going to look at some comparisons between him and Anthony Edwards in that All-Star race. Rookie of the Year race. And then we will listen to some comments from LaMelo himself at the end of this video. All right, so the Pistons game. If you didn't watch the Pistons game, go check out the highlights, because for a player to come back after missing a month worth of basketball and to just be in as rhythm as LaMelo seemed to be with his teammates and just the game in general. The kid at one point threw a underhanded pass across the court for an assist to Miles Bridges. Perfect. In the post game, they start asking him about it. Bro, how do you do it? And he's like, yo, it's just normal. That is not even a big deal for him. That type of action to come back here, 4 for 10 from the field, 1 for 4 behind the 3-point line. Still struggled in his latest game versus the Heat from behind the arc. But I guess that's to be expected when you had a wrist injury. No matter what side it is, there's some stability that has to happen here as you shoot that thing, and so either way, it's some flexibility. So you can see that the rhythm from the 3-point line is going to be something that he's going to have to work his way back into. But even at the beginning of the season, it took him a moment to really get the 3-point shot rocking to the way that he had it moving forward. Still a decent night from LaMelo, 8 assists, all dimes. And what I really love about this game versus the Pistons and what we've seen from his assists these were not just oh, I tossed it over to you and you knocked down a 3 assists. You know what I'm saying? Last seconds, hot potato, you shoot it in. No, I'm setting you up. Lob, deep pass, run the court, I'm getting you the ball. Nice touch pass to Jaden McDaniel. Just a really, really good basketball from him in this game. And we've been saying this, he's surprised so many people about what he can do on the offensive boards. Not your boy. I knew he had that in him. And I think that, but here is the key factor for this Hornets team. 29 points from Terry Rozier, 27 points from Miles Bridges. The one blessing that I believe that the Hornets got from having LaMelo sit out is now they got an opportunity to see what it looks like when we just let Miles Bridges go. There's some buy-in on the Miles Bridges train right now from the Hornets of yo, he's a starter. They were bringing him off the bench and they were kind of minimizing his role. Now you see them actually let him go to work and his game is starting to speak for itself. So I appreciate that. That is the one blessing that is going to pay dividends for this Hornets team moving forward. Now, fast forward to tonight's game versus the Miami Heat. Still had a decent performance from LaMelo, but the same thing is you have an overall not as great performance from the entire team. 14 points from Terry Rozier, 15 from Miles Bridges. We talking about 2 20-point scorers in the last game, down to 14 points apiece. PJ Washington steps up and gives you that 21 points here, but the truth of the matter is there are guys on this team who they need to have score. One of the biggest downfalls that I feel like this Hornets team always will have is that they have depth. They do have some depth, but that's like a gift and a curse, because when you got a lot of good players, for some reason you feel like you gotta play them all. And when you do that, sometimes you throw off the rhythm of some of your guys. We seen LaMelo play 30 minutes tonight, which is dope, especially being that it's his second game back. But look at the comparison here between, you got a 1, 2, 3, you got 5 obviously here, and you got a 9-man rotation in the game that you play really good basketball in. And then in this game here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You pretty much, was that 13-man rotation you went in on this game? this late in the season, no team should be going into a 13-man rotation. Now, I will say they were getting blown out, so towards the end of the game, they just started throwing people in. But still, like, you gotta. And truthfully, that's honestly, that's how you know. You look at the box score and you see 13 guys, you know something went wrong. And that's what you have here, right? You got the Vernon Carries, who his first game looked like he was about to do some stuff and has not really performed up to that stature since then. But I still got some hope, man. I want to see him out there running with LaMelo. I will say this. This is something that I noticed tonight is there's still a tinge of like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this, but there's a tinge of like, it's my time to shine, right? There's a tinge of, there are times when LaMelo's on the court where they actually don't look as good because it looks like they're playing with only 4 people, right? It looks like there's a tinge of time where there's a bit of keep away happening. And like once LaMelo's on the bench, then all of a sudden the ball is moving around and all 5 guys are touching it. And then there's a time where it's like, okay, I'm throwing it to Devontae, you're gonna do this thing. And it doesn't happen a lot. I feel like they get into that rut and then sometimes they kick back out of it. But even tonight, I feel like there were moments where it would have just been easier to skip it to Devontae from LaMelo, and he just held it for a second and gave it to someone. I just feel like that's something to really watch out for, is that freedom and that kind of consistency from tonight's game of playing together with having Devontae on the court and having LaMelo on the court. It's something that has to be looked at, right? I think that is a big difference also from last night, from the Pistons game in which Devontae, I believe he did not play, and then from tonight when you had Devontae in the game and he gets 24 minutes right there. Like I said, the consistency and all of that stuff ends up being being crazy. Now, to LaMelo just wants to win, does not care about this, but your boy does, and I know you do too. We go over here and we look at the comparison, right? Because the conversation is Rookie of the Year. When LaMelo left, the idea was, if he would have played 3 more games, we would have gave it to him. That's how sensational he was. That's how much he impacted the game and his team, and that's how much he made him better. Now we get to here. And this is the funny thing, because I want to see what people say in the comment section on this part here, right? Before, one of the things that I talked about the most is that you can look here at these per game averages, but these per game averages can be misleading, right? And in the true testament to where the like Rookie of the Year should be handed out to is in the totals, because right now this is still a close race. LaMelo 15 points, Anthony Edwards 18 points. Like, okay, yeah. LaMelo 4 blocks, Anthony Edwards 4 blocks, 1 point, and then, but now before LaMelo went out, statistically, not only was he leading in the majority of these categories, but as totals go as well, he was leading in all of these categories. Now you go to the totals now, and you got a different story. But this is where I say is I'll be interested to see what people say, because when I talked about totals and the gap that LaMelo had created when it came to totals, now you got to understand that he was gone for a month. It took a month for these totals to get like this. But people said, but it's the per game averages, it's the 36 per, it's why they do this. Now, if you go here and you look at 36 per, it's the LaMelo show again. You go here. Let's see. I didn't check these yet, but I'm sure we're gonna see similar results. Per 100 possessions, it's the LaMelo show again. But you go to totals, and now you got a case for Anthony Edwards. Almost doubled him in scoring, right? Has finally eclipsed him in blocks, steals here, and LaMelo had 4 steals tonight. So he's going to close some of these numbers back. The assists, LaMelo still way out in front. Rebounding, still rebounding at a high clip. So he's going to catch him over these last 8 games and close some of these gaps. But obviously, he's not going to score 600 points in the next 8 games. So there will be some case for Anthony Edwards when it comes to this Rookie of the Year race. But to me, man, just the impact that LaMelo has had and the realization that if he had not have missed a month of basketball, this would be, it would be a foregone conclusion. It wouldn't even be close. It'd be crazy. The truth of the matter is, to close out this season with the next 8 games, LaMelo is going to win another Rookie of the Month. So that will put him at about 4 or 5. Up to Anthony Edwards is 1 or 2 that he had won for the entire season. So it should not be close, but who knows? Now, after that first game, they obviously, is LaMelo's first game back. They brought him in and they said, yo, we need you for that media availability. What I want to do is listen to this real quick and we'll close the video out.
What is your biggest adjustment, Melo, to, you know, getting back to game speed? I know that you can train all you want, but as far as getting back to where you're comfortable playing at full speed, where's the biggest adjustment point coming?
Biggest adjustment, I wouldn't say adjustment. I pretty much just say getting games up, just playing for real. That's pretty much what I did as a kid too. I didn't even practice. I just played 5s. So
here's the thing, and I'm gonna stop it through this. I'm going to stop it through this. Here's what I always appreciate about LaMelo, and I think that is something to keep in mind when you're thinking about professional basketball players. What he's telling you, and just any profession or anything that you want to do, is the advantage of being able to, as a professional, as a 19-year-old, draw on experience that you gained as a kid, doing the thing that you are doing now to make money. Think about that as you parenting your kids. How can you create an experience that when they are getting paid to do it, they can harken back to when you told them and the experiences that you gave them as a kid? Not a lot of professions can do that, or not a lot of people can say that they can do that, and that's important.
I feel like that's the best conditioning and best way you can get better too, is playing live.
Did it almost feel like it was almost a second opening night for you just because you had such a long layoff?
Yeah, I guess you could say. Because it's been a minute years since I've been out there, so definitely felt like new again.
Now, you remember that opening night that he had was not stellar. So for this to be like a second and opening night, that idea definitely redeemed himself from the first night.
Rod?
Hey, Melo, JB and Miles are both talking about your passing ability, man, just how you can pass the ball, just the way you do. I mean, can you explain what it's like to be able to throw an underhanded pass, you know, full court in a basketball game and make it, you know, drop on a dime there, stuff like that?
I have to go back to my past again, probably just playing with my pops the way he had me, and my brothers and stuff, you know, 5-on-5. He just always had us playing fast pace. I mean, throwing passes like that, so kind of felt normal, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But yeah, that's pretty much just what we was doing growing up all the time.
That's what I'm telling you. As a dad, put your kid in a situation where they can say that, oh, back when my dad was, you know, the way I handle these cases as a lawyer right now, it's because my dad used to have me doing litigate. You know what I'm saying? We used to argue and shit. He made me, I've been reading the heck out of these books because my dad used to make me. I'm just saying, like, it's an opportunity for you to do that. Think about that now. Or even in life, for you, think about what kind of situations you can put yourself in. So 10 years from now, you can be like, oh yeah, I remember 10 years ago, I did that. It was nothing. It made it look easy, but it's hard work.
How much do you enjoy getting down the floor with the guys out there, just kind of pushing it the way you had tonight?
Yeah, definitely love getting out there and playing again. I mean, especially with the pace, you got to keep it high tempo. So that's what I was trying to do.
I had to mention that the pace, man, they got back to a better pace, definitely versus that first game. I think that the second game they were trying to push it at times, and you could see that where they got into spaces where they were trying too hard at times. There's a time where like LaMelo had 2 turnovers back to back, and I was like, come on now, there's like the right way to push the pace. You know what I'm saying? They just got to figure that out. But sometimes, boy, they look like definitely a playoff contender.
KB?
LaMelo, congrats on the win and congrats on being back. Can you speak on the process of you coming back for this game specifically, maybe some anxiety that you were probably dealing with, and how you released all of that or whatever as soon as that ball tipped tonight?
Anxiety, nah, none of that. I mean, I was just waiting for the game at the crib. Talked to coach before the game, said I was cool, and just came here like it was another game. Like, same routine, like always, 4:30 walk and stuff, so.
Coach said, Coach Borrego did say that you have another level to get to when it comes to conditioning. How did you feel out there when you got out there as soon as the game?
Yeah, no, I felt good. I mean, a couple days before this, I was playing low 5, so felt better than that day. So hopefully just keep getting better from there.
Dave?
Hey, LaMelo, I got a couple for you. First of all, just to make it clear, you said it feels normal to throw an 80-foot underhanded lob outlet pass that falls right when the guy standing in front of the basket. That's normal?
Yeah, facts. Definitely. I mean, just playing when we was young, I mean, it was pretty much passes like that every play. So it's a different way, the way we grew up playing. So
this reminds me of, and this is, please listen to what I'm saying. Don't read too much into this. Don't make it a thing. But it's this Kanye West interview where somebody says he's talking about that song he has, I'm a God. And then he's like, I'll make a song called I'm a God. And then people ask me, how you gonna make a song called I'm a God? Who you think you are? And he's like, I just told you. And this is what I was like, LaMelo, are you telling me that you felt comfortable? Yes, that's what I said.
Passes and stuff like that.
Okay, then my other question is, there's just 9 games left here. What matters to you down the stretch? Making the playoffs, rookie of the year, is that something that's on your mind?
Winning.
Nah, mostly winning, and definitely it would be playoffs first. But mostly just winning, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's so funny because as a media person, you have to ask these questions, but you have to already know the answer to these questions, right? When somebody asks him about anxiety, like, I already know, nah, it ain't no anxiety, it's just basketball. What do you want to see? What is most important to you right now? Rookie of the year, winning. Trying to get to the playoffs. My dog trying to win the championship this year. Let's get it.
Christos? Hey, LaMelo. Welcome back. How do you feel shape-wise about your game so far? How would you evaluate your game tonight?
Evaluate my game? I mean, first day back, I just think I did all right. Pretty much just getting back to it. Shot still a little off. Working in the treatment room and stuff, trying to get the wrist back right. But other than that, I mean, it was cool.
Is a kind of boost for you the way that you helped your team win tonight?
Can you repeat that for me?
Is it kind of boost for you? Is it kind of confidence booster for you the way that you return and help your team to win?
I mean, my confidence is always sky high, so nah, not really.
All right, but I think that you got, what I appreciate from that is a couple of different things, right? You see that the injury did not affect his mental. The mental is still there. The being able to recall back to when I did this as a kid is still there. It didn't shake me up. It didn't make me want to play different. Nah. I'm still, it's the same thing. Told you before that hoops is hoops. Hoops is still hoops, and we out here hooping. You feel me? My confidence is still high and all of that jazz, man. So I appreciate that, and I think that my dog is finna come back and go on a tear here. And if they can get some W's out of these next couple games, next 3 games, go on a little winning streak, it'll be huge for this playoff race. And I think that the confidence that is already sky high will be to the moon, like Dogecoin, you feel me? Hit my link over there and sign up, man. Get you some free stocks over there on Robinhood and all that jazz. Let me know if you interested in that crypto. I'll give you some game on it, you feel me? Get you some Doge, get you some Ethereum. The shit is going up right now. I'm gonna switch this off real quick, but you can catch that Ethereum right now. It's at 3K. It's projected to hit about 6 by the end of the year. Go ahead and double your money up if you're trying to get into that. It's your main man, AB the Hero. We finna get up out of here.
No, not peace. +1, triple B's. We out.